I want to demonstrate for you how to do cold stratification with your milkweed seed. There's a lot of different species of milkweed out there. In our state of Nebraska, we have about 17 known species that are found in the wild. Most of those species that are native or found in Nebraska are or do need cold stratification. We do have a few that seem to do pretty well without that cold stratification, like showy and common, your butterfly milkweed, and even some of this tropical stuff that is non-native to here typically does pretty well. You can buy seed that has been cold stratified, but it's more expensive and harder to get. Most of the time your seed will not be cold stratified. Look in the back of the seed packet and it should tell you how to do it. If you do not do this, if you do not cold stratify, if you don't put it outside in the winter or over the fall and plant, you won't have it germinate in the spring. So we're going to do a sort of mimicked cold stratification using some substrate, which is sort of potting soil type sand that has no moisture in it. You can't take sand outside that is full of moisture and do this. And we're going to take some distilled water to put just enough moisture in here to place our seeds in. And then we're going to put this in our refrigerator for about 3 to 4 weeks. So I'm going to show you that process and give you the ratio I found from another YouTuber that we're going to try here this year. So the ratio is you got your potting sand, or if you have like a succulent garden, you can go to any sort of Home Depot or any store like that and typically find this. I've got this sort of dry sand here, which is a 1/4 cup, and then we're going to take a 1/4 teaspoon of distilled water. Why do I use distilled water? We'll make sure it doesn't have lower chance of bacteria and other things in there that might grow. If you don't get this ratio right, or get bad water in here, we are going to put this in the fridge. You will get mold or fungus or whatever that will destroy those seeds. So that's why we use very little water. And the ratio of water we're going to put in there is a 1/4 teaspoon. So 1/4 cup of sand, 1/4 teaspoon. I'm going to do this off camera. Try to get enough water in here without totally spilling it. Okay, I've got my water here, and I've pre-measured the sand for our convenience here. So go ahead and put it inside there. So it seems like a super small amount of moisture, and it really is. You don't want too much in there. And we're going to mix that around really, really good. Realize the camera's probably going out of focus here a little bit. Okay, make sure it's all in there. Just very, very little moisture, okay? Now I have some World milkweed seed that one of my colleagues collected here last fall. Still got the little bit of fluff in there. You can put in quite a bit of seed in here. I don't like to put all my eggs in one basket, so to speak. So I'm going to put about 1/2 to 1/4 in here. You can see there's a lot of milkweed seeds. There's probably, I don't know, 50 there, 60 there. I'll put a few more. About 1/3 to 1/4 of my bag that I was given. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to seal this up, get most of the air out of it. Okay. I'm going to mix up those milkweed seeds in there. We want contact so they remain moist and don't dry out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'll label it World Milkweed Seed from what year and which batch. I'll probably do a few of these bags for one species. Label it with a marker, put it at the sort of middle or back of my fridge where it's fairly cold, and leave it there for 30 days. We're in April right now, which we're getting kind of late in the season to do this. So I'm going to do 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and 4 weeks. Looking at these different packets and seeing what kind of, planting and see what kind of germination we get. I'm going to plant these outside of both indoors, in potting soil indoors and little Dixie cup type cups, and then we'll place them directly outside after cold stratification. I'm going to update and see what kind of progress we get and see what kind of germination rates we get. I'm going to try this technique. I've done it before and I've had moderate success, I guess, doing it, but I didn't have a really good sense of how much moisture to put in there. I've used peat moss and some other things, but I really thought this technique looked pretty good. We're going to try it out. And again, if you have any questions or comments, please let us know at bumbleboosters.org. We're going to plant this in our pollinator garden, hopefully, these seeds, and have some germinated little seedlings that we'll put out there at some point to refresh our milkweed patch that we have out there. But I wanted to show this to you and share with you, and hopefully you try it and get it to work as well. Please let me know if you have questions or comments. Thanks.